family. I hope you all are well and staying healthy. And this is Pastor Paul, and just wanted to not really bring an update, just wanted to touch base, I guess. I miss you all terribly. Can't wait till this ordeal is over and we're all back together again. That's what I'm praying for. And I hope you're praying for the same thing. And what I thought I'd do today is share with you just a little history lesson, just a very brief history lesson about a couple of plagues that took place between AD 165 and AD 250 or so. In AD 165, there was a plague that struck the Roman Empire. Most historians think it was smallpox, and it was horrible. The emperor at the time was Marcus Aurelius, who eventually succumbed to the disease. But before he died, he recorded how he would see caravans of carts and wagons carrying the dead out of the city. It was horrible. I think what's most horrible about that plague in AD 165 is that it lasted 15 years, if you can imagine. But then less than a century later, another plague struck the empire. And of course, people understood that this was something that spread through other people. It was contagious. And so it came, even in the first plague, when people started to manifest symptoms, they were basically cast out in the streets, even by their family. And the streets were just crowded with people who were sick and suffering. But it was at this point that the believers stepped up. And when all of these poor people who were dying were forsaken by the mass public in general, it was the believers who extended mercy and compassion to them. And because of just some basic nursing skills, like giving them water to keep them hydrated, to giving them food to regain their strength, a lot of these people survived. And thus, Christians saved untold numbers of lives during that first plague that took probably between 1/4 and 1/3 of the population. So another thing I'll point out to you, and I was just doing some reading about this this week, is that it did not go unnoticed by the public how many of the Christians who were stricken with the plague survived. The believers had a much higher survival rate than your average pagan at the time. And that didn't go unnoticed. And it's a generally known fact of history that the way Christians stepped up during these plagues in the Roman Empire facilitated the rapid spread of Christianity, because people noticed. They noticed their compassion, their love, and the mercy that was extended to people that were sick and suffering. So what's the takeaway for us? Well, I would say a couple of things. Number one, let us be grateful that we live in a time of such great medical and technological advance, to where people are we actually have the wherewithal to deal with a pandemic. And so in that regard, let's continue to pray for those that are on the front lines of this, our national leaders, our healthcare providers, as well as those technicians that are trying desperately to get this vaccine ready for us, okay? I think another takeaway is that let us also remember that how we respond in crisis can be a great testimony for the gospel. If you have opportunity to show mercy and compassion, I know that you will. And of course, to pray that this will come to an end soon. And I guess I should say, I hope you will take care of yourself, because it's common knowledge now that one of the best ways to flatten the curve is by taking care of ourselves. We can protect others by protecting ourselves. And my wife has been a real jewel with this, making, even as I speak, she's in her little sweatshop inside making more of these masks. As a matter of fact, I think I had one. Yes, she actually made this one for me. So, it's just practicing good, protection procedures, wash your hands, good hygiene, stay safe. And by staying safe yourself, you're helping to protect others. It's like when you get on an airplane and they give their little protocol safety instructions before takeoff. And, if in the case of an emergency, the oxygen masks fall out of the ceilings, make sure you put yours on before you take care of even your kids. So, because you can't help somebody if you're not healthy yourself. So protect others by protecting yourselves. And listen, I just want you to know, I really miss you guys. And I'm praying for you. And I'm praying that God will bring this ordeal to a swift and safe conclusion. So hang in there, Faith family. I love you and look forward to seeing you again sooner rather than later. Okay.